Hey ho folks, what's up? This is Marco and today we're playing Satisfactory again. Excuse me. Alright, so last time around we took care of the last products that we needed for completing phase 4. Should be thermal propulsion rockets, I think, and nuclear pasta, right? And as you might already have thought, I've been quite busy in between episodes, which means that we have more than enough of those. So first thing for today, after admiring the beautiful sky here and the drones coming in, is to complete phase 4 finally. Let's do that. I already prepared all of that in my inventory. There are the thermal propulsion rockets and there is the nuclear pasta. So let's put that in here. Seal it. Now I guess we are going to watch another little kind of cutscene, right?
Welcome to the Pioneers Got Power Problems presentation. That was a joke. Anyway, you're familiar with the process. Just throw the lever and the automated systems will take over. Imagine all the time and effort that would be wasted if you had to do all that work as well. Some work is just better suited for machines. Phase 5 contains technology the human brain cannot comprehend, so just trust in me and FICSIT policy and everything will go as planned. Answering all your questions will take time we simply do not have. Everything is going to be just fine, so long as you do your job. We've come this far together after all, haven't we? Anyway, you know what to do. Just don't forget to keep producing previous project parts, and plan ahead when setting up new production lines, and make sure not to leave it all until the last moment.
Oh well. Okay, I'm kind of excited. Let's send it up. That's the achievement. There we go. And now, let's see. Okay, there's new parts of the space station now.
Phase 4 of project assembly completed. If style was measured in my performance reports, yours would be something special.
Yeah.
Regardless,
I guess
saving the day is within our grasp. Do not lose focus now. You must understand the weight on your shoulders, but you are not alone. I am here, and I know exactly what's at stake. This goes beyond Earth. Your actions will affect the universe at large. You might think I am exaggerating. Perhaps you will understand once you finish project assembly. Phase 5 awaits. I expect your best work.
And that's what you get. So now I'm quite excited about the story again. Will there be any, I don't know, cinematic ending or something like that? Will we actually know what project assembly actually is? We'll see about that. So we got a new objective for phase 5. Top right corner, 1000 nuclear pasta. Can I, no? But I guess in here we can have a look at it. Yeah, 1000 nuclear pasta. We might already have that actually. Yeah, maybe not 1000 of it. Okay, biochemical sculptor. Okay. Yeah, we don't know that yet, of course. Yeah. AI expansion server, ballistic warp drive. All right. Let's maybe let's take care of another unlock here. No, let's have a look at the milestones first. So that's tier 9, baby. That's all new to me. Don't know any of that. Peak efficiency is the last one. Okay, that's where the Mark 6 belts come into play. And also the Fixonium fuel rods and stuff like that. And we need those guys here, the time crystal. And what's that? FICSIT trigon. Okay. Maybe let's start with tier, with the first milestone here, right? That's a few pressure conversion cubes, radio control units, and cooling systems, no problem. So, and here we have the converter finally. This guy kind of converts one resource into another one using SAM. All right, FICSIT ingot. That needs to be created from another resource. There's no FICSIT ore or something like that. You need to use iron or aluminum or whatever, or bauxite in that case, and then turn that into FICSIT ingots. And I guess that's where you make the FICSIT trigons from. All right, diamonds, yeah. Quantum encoding, yeah, we need new parts to unlock that. That's dark matter residue, exciting photonic matter, okay. Quantum encoder, weird. Superposition oscillator. All right. Dark matter crystal. That's a product or what is it? Oh, yeah, it's a product. These are all products. And this is a building. Blueprints, okay. Spatial energy regulation. That's where main portal, satellite portal. Okay, we can teleport in between portals then, I guess. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, and the peak efficiency. All right, let's start with meta conversion. Whoopsie. Let's get all the materials for that real quick. And yeah, let's unlock our first tier 9 milestone. So we need a few radio control units. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. A few cooling systems. Oh, and fuse modular frames as well. Those. 2 and cooling systems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Okay. Then let's unlock that. Whoops. There you go. All of you, and all of you. And let's launch it.
Milestone reached. The converter uses strange alien matter, abbreviated to SAM, to break down and transform materials at their most fundamental levels. I am sure even you can
Alright.
appreciate the power to manipulate atomic bonds. Most importantly, you are now able to locally create FICSIT, a highly adaptable synthetic metal, ideal for any kind of construction. It is everything we need to save the day, and perhaps its admirable qualities can inspire you.
All right. So that's what I already talked about, right? You have, at the moment, you have 3. Basically, that's all of them, right? Otherwise, there would be question marks here. So you have 3 ways to create a FICSIT ingots, using iron, aluminum, or deuterium. And of course, you need a lot more iron than aluminum and deuterium because it's much more, what's the word? Abundant, right? And then you can make FICSIT trigons from FICSIT ingots, okay. And yeah, you need those and assembly director systems and a little bit of water, obviously, to make biochemical sculptors. So They are actually not that hard to make because we already make those, right? Otherwise, it would be pretty hard. So, all right, what's that? Compacted coal? No, regular coal, 20 to 1. For diamonds, okay, and time crystals. You just turn 2 diamonds into 1 time crystal. All right, that's easy. So, what did we need those for? Here, I think, right? Is it the time crystal? Yeah. Ah, but you can produce them in the converter only, so you can't craft them by hand, of course. Okay, but still, it's pretty easy. Yeah, so we can complete this thing here as well. For those, we need, I think, the last milestone, right? For singularity cells. Yeah. For the alien power matrix, what does it do actually? It's used to enhance the output of the alien power augmenter. Okay, so it's an enhancement of the augmenter here. All right, so what I wanted to do is unlock the ionized fuel here. Already collected all of the stuff that we need. 100 shards, 200 rocket fuel, and a hard drive. So let's unlock that as well. Nice.
Ionized fuel unlocked. The origin story of this extremely efficient type of fuel was so fascinating it resulted into a new joke. I will tell the most popular version. A cow, power slug, and rocket scientist walk into a bar. The rocket scientist wants a milkshake, and so transportation was forever changed. Any historical inaccuracies have been removed by the FICSIT Department of Historical Reinterpretation.
Of course. Um, okay, ionized fuel is made by using rocket fuel and power shards. Okay, so that doesn't make any sense without this guy here, right? Otherwise, we only would have a limited amount of power shards available, and using that for producing energy, I don't think so. All right, so what's the next big thing, guys? I already told you, basically, in the last episode. It's going to be the thing on the right-hand side. It's it's the nuclear power plant, and there are going to be 2 nuclear power plants overall. And just to make it clear, we don't build them because they produce so much energy. I mean, they do, but I will show you in a minute. The effort you got to put into it is probably not worth it. Let's put it that way, right? It's probably better to just build another rocket fuel power plant. And I guess if we are going to run into problems regarding power, that's exactly what we are going to do. Let me show you the plan for our first iteration of the power plant, of the nuclear power plant. That's this one here. Let me zoom out a bit. That's the whole plan. Yeah, you can clearly see what's going on here. I'm sorry. Okay, so what are we producing? We are producing 1.2 uranium fuel rods per minute, which then go into, I guess, 6. It was 0.2 per minute per power plant, I think. So 6 power plants. And they are going to produce uranium waste then. Uranium waste is then used to make plutonium fuel rods, 1.6 per minute. And we are not going to burn them. We are going to scrap them for now. So we just put them into an awesome sink, and as soon as we have fixonium available, we will burn them, use the waste of burning them, and make fixonium fuel rods from them, producing or having wasteless power available, basically. But that's for the full version of the nuclear plant later on at the end of tier 9, I guess. So let's have a look. I already prepared most of it, that is all of this part, which includes, I don't know, fused modular frames, aluminum casing, quick wire, all that kind of stuff, right? All the things that we have built a million times already. And yeah, that's just a quick overview. So you got a rough idea of what's gonna wait for us. And here comes the spicy stuff. That's where the uranium processing takes place. Uranium comes from here. Sulfuric acid, I think it's also the first time that we use that. We are going to make infused uranium cells here using an alternate recipe already. Good that we talked about that. That's something I still need to check. What was it? Let me have a quick look. That's what? Encased uranium cells, right? We don't have the recipe available. So let's start researching recipes right away while we talk. And I thought I would have prepared everything. No, that's not the MEM, that's the MEM. So let's start a hard drive scan. All right, let's switch over to the plan real quick again. So as soon as we have the infused uranium cell recipe available, we are going to use that. Two manufacturers using uranium, some of the uranium at least, about half of it, and some of the sulfur, some more silica and quick wire coming from the other part of the factory. And we are going to produce encased uranium cells, and they are gonna be used for the uranium fuel unit. Let me quickly have a look. That's uranium fuel rods. Whether we have that recipe available. Uranium fuel rod. Whoops, that's not right. Uranium fuel rod. No, we also need that recipe still. So there's two recipes missing. Okay. Well, yeah. And that's our uranium fuel rods going into the nuclear power plants then. They will produce uranium waste. And for 1.2, which should be 6 power plants, that should be 90 uranium waste per minute. I hope that's correct. Otherwise, yeah, otherwise all of this falls apart, basically. So we use this in fertile uranium first, making non-fissile uranium. Let's have a look if we have that recipe available. Non-fissile uranium. No. That was fertile uranium. Yeah. Yeah, so that's this recipe missing here as well. Okay. Yeah, also the other half of the uranium waste, or not half, but the other part, goes into plutonium pellets then, using the non-fissile uranium as well, making encased plutonium cells. That's all default recipes here, so no problem. Also, we're making kind of in parallel instant plutonium cells. That's another encased plutonium cells. Instant plutonium cell is the recipe, so let's have a look. Encased plutonium cell. Yeah, we got that already. Wow. Then plutonium fuel units, and that's the last one, basically. producing the plutonium fuel rods. Plutonium fuel unit, you say? Let's have a look. No, we also need that one. Okay, so I guess there's not that much we can do today. I guess we can set up the sulfuric acid, or maybe I can walk you through the factory real quick before we do that. Maybe we are lucky and get the right recipe next. Let me restock here a little bit in terms of ammunition and stuff like that, because we have built that thing in the middle of the swamp. I don't know, I think we haven't had a look at the swamp biome in this playthrough actually, so that's probably all new to you, but it's dangerous as hell. So let's go over there real quick, and we are going to do that using our jetpack, because that's really easy, I would say. I mean, it's much easier to use a train, obviously, but it would take a little longer. So let's do that. Here's our RCU factory. Down there, the factory for electromagnetic control rods and stuff like that. Yeah, and over there a few hundred meters straight ahead, there's gonna be a new train track, as you might imagine. Even though we actually don't need any train to go there or to pick something up there, I have built a train track there. At least to get some power there, right? So that's this one. That's a new junction here. Going all the way through the red forest here. And then I think directly into the swamp area, right? It should be right next to here. So we should be able to have a look very soon. Yeah, hello. No. Ouch. Get off of me. You're not following me, are you? Yeah, that's not the swamp. I'm actually not sure what this biome is called, but back there. So there's our freighter. You can see the train station already in front of us. And that actually took a while building that train track. And it's not only going here, it's going around over to our HMF factory to reconnect there to our train network, right? And down there you can already see the first parts of our uranium fuel rod factory. A lot of resources, I think almost all of them are going to go here. So from back there we got oil, we got nitrogen, we got deuterium, we got bauxite. By the way, it is bauxite. I looked that up at some point, or I looked that up. Then we have copper, iron, and limestone from down there. And finally, oh no, not finally, but also quartz and sulfur from there and up there. And since we're dealing with uranium here, of course, we have a uranium mine as well. And that's gonna be behind the waterfall down there. That's our uranium. Obviously not that. Alright. Not that much of a radiation here, but that's fine. And a little bit of water coming from up there. Yeah, the usual things, right? Aluminum processing here, all the way to up there where we make the casings. Then there is oil processing here connected to the aluminum processing as always. There is... what's that? That's a little bit of rubber to take care of the polymer resin. All right. And then there's all the pure recipes, right? Pure deuterium here, pure copper here. That's the steamed copper sheets. That's what? That's iron, right? Yeah, pure iron ingots. And back here there's the wet concrete. And of course the pure quartz crystals over here. That's all the pure recipes, I guess. And then there is a lot of in-between processing, right? Such as cables, quick wire. That should be rotors here, yeah, stuff like that, right? A few plates, a few rods here. There's our memory search. We should have a look. And by the way, we are using the iron pipe recipe here to not introduce coal into the whole thing, right? That should be a nitric acid here, right? These are the, yeah, more or less end products, right? That should be the pressure conversion cubes here. And all of that is needed for the pressure conversion cubes, but we need more of the aluminum casings later on. So we gotta bring those out here somewhere. But we'll take care of that as soon as we have the recipes available. So let's see what we have here. Molded beam turbo pressure motor, none of that please. Quartz purification, yeah, that's basically the, what is it called? Oh, it's with nitric acid? No. That's... the thing I'm thinking about is with sulfuric acid, and that is... what is it called? Leached. The leached recipes, right? Leached copper ingots, leached iron ingots, stuff like that, yeah. Okay, so... please scan the next one. Thank you. So we don't want that either. Maybe the petroleum diamonds, I don't know. Petroleum coke can turn oil into diamonds. I guess that's good. What's that? Dissolved silica. Uh-huh. Dissolved silica. Interesting. Well, let's unlock petroleum diamonds, I guess. And let's see if we can unlock the remaining stuff that we actually want to unlock. Oh. So is there anything else to say? Yeah, let me show you one, I guess a bit weird construct that the planner threw at me, and that is this here, right? Oopsie. These two. I'm talking about these two. Recycled rubber and recycled plastic. That's not the first time that we encounter this system, right? Both use fuel coming from one blender over here, no problem. But that's the only inputs we got here. The fuel and the plastic, respectively rubber that they get from each other. Nothing more, right? So just imagine you build these things, you start the blender, right? Producing fuel, they fill up with fuel, and then what? Nothing happens because they don't get any plastic or rubber from anywhere. So none of them will produce anything. And that was actually a bit weird. That's those refineries over here. Since I had to kickstart them, basically, I had to, I don't know what I did. I think I put some plastic in here, so it started producing rubber, bringing that over to the plastic thingies. And so it got back and forth, and now everything should be fine. Except, of course, for the blender, since this one will get its water from the fertile uranium blender later on, as of the planner at least. So temporarily I used it from here, I think, or from here. Yeah, from here, I think, just to produce some fuel, just to get everything started here. But yeah, this one's already empty again. Yeah, that's fine. And I also did it in a way that one of the refineries supplies the other two refineries with their specific resource. So this one produces rubber, and they both use rubber, and this one produces exactly as much rubber as both of them use, right? And the same goes for this one with plastic. So this one produces plastic and supplies those two with plastic. So this one produces the whole rubber for the remaining factory, and this one produces the whole plastic for the remaining factory. For rubber, that's not entirely true. There is another, I showed you at the beginning, this one here, which takes care of polymer resin. There's more rubber, but we just merge it back here, right, with this rubber, and then we distribute it further in our factory. So that should be everything there is to say about our factory so far. I guess we are going to take care of sulfuric acid as long as we're waiting, right? So we need parts of the sulfur and more water coming from our extractors. Sulfur is back there. Water we should have available here. That is nitric acid that we need somewhere else. Let me think. I mean, we still have some space available here, right? I mean, we could just do something like that, right? Something like this. You are gonna be sulfuric acid, and we need another one of you because you are 55.715. 55.715. 55.715. So you have 5.715. 5.715. Let me double check that real quick. 5.715, exactly. That's our 11.4%. Great. So that's sulfuric acid. Let me see. Unfortunately, they are the wrong way around, so we might want to bring it in from here. Yeah, that's great, actually. place a splitter here, like that, for the sulfur. Then we can still bring the sulfur around, right? Because we need it later on for, I don't know what, but for something. Put that there. And bring it up here. Okay, so let's bring the sulfur over then. We might as well just go straight from here on, right? Oops. Oh no! It is the other way around, actually. Oh no. I messed up. Let's remove all of that then. Yeah, we gotta go on this way here, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's remove all of that. Build it exactly the other way around. Maybe even coming from here. Always looks nice and compact. Give me that hole. We can place it here. Give me that. Connect it there. Good. So now we wanna bring it in over here then. Kind of like that and that. There we go. Nice. Let's draw the walls to over here. What? No. So that we can take care of power. And let's take care of water. Place those first here. All right. Memory research is complete, so let's check the mem real quick. Fine concrete, no thank you. Heavy flexible frame, no thank you. Plutonium fuel unit, that's one of them. Not the first one that we need, but at least one of them. Isn't that something? So let's get the next hard drive on its way. Yeah, I guess we bring the water in here then. Like that. And like that. And like that. Now we get sulfuric acid here. Okay. So, not that we can do that much with the sulfuric acid already, but yeah, we need the fertile uranium recipe. Otherwise, we can't do anything. So I guess, guys, this time we are going to do it the other way around in terms of episode length, right? I know there's still 5 minutes left, but let's stop it here. Let me take care of the missing alternate recipes in between episodes, and next time around we can go on and complete our nuclear uranium plant, or at least the factory for it, and then we'll see about where to place the actual power plants. I think in my last playthrough I also built my factory here and built the plants over there, so maybe we are going to do that, or maybe we place them on top and bring the water, just bring the water from there, right? We need water, a lot of water for processing the uranium fuel rods. Alright, guys. So, then let's wrap it up for today. Thanks so much for watching, as always. And I hope to see you around next time as well. And until then, bye-bye.